must say that to both our guests from Japan and from Bangladesh have been pretty exhaustive presentations that have been made. But the common refrain that I pick up is that the challenge remains: how do you balance out the requirements of development of any society with the requirement of ensuring that there are some basic parameters which are in place as far as maintaining environmental standards are concerned. Like I was looking at the presentation which was made by Dr. Michinaga, where she says that how at one point of time diesel emission was a very big factor in pollution which existed in Japan. Now in India, we've been through this, haven't we, Dr. We moved in Delhi, for instance, from diesel to CNG. In Mumbai, we're making attempts to move completely towards battery-operated transport system. But how do you balance that requirement? At what level does, let's say, organizations like yourselves, the medical fraternity, how do you ensure that at some level there is some balance which can be maintained between ecosystem and development requirements?
One thing is that the ministries are different. They need to work together. The Environment Ministry and Health Ministry need to work together. All professional associations need to get involved with the Environmental Ministry, which is not happening today.
It's not happening.
It's not happening today. This is the first time IMA has invited them. They have never invited IMA with that. So the doctors, the environmental precaution needs to come as a prescription. So for example, if I have an asthma patient, he asks me, what should I do? What should be my home? How should be my workplace? We need to come out with guidelines in collaboration with Environmental Ministry and environmental experts. Then only the solution will come, otherwise it will not come.
If I may, since you all are taking such great, making such great effort to invite dignitaries and your associations from across the world to talk about pollution, which is a commendable initiative, don't you think that actually focus also needs to be to maybe include this in course curriculum across various universities and schools? I'm not sure whether there is any university in this country which does a specified course of only and only managing pollution. There's environmental sciences, but environmental sciences also is a very sort of all over the place kind of a course. Is there a requirement to include this in curriculum as well?
Now all over the world, including the Japan, the Bangladesh, the World Medical Association, the CIMAO, the new concept is One Health. One Health basically means environmental health, human health, animal health and plant health. And unless we work all of them together, we are not going to find a solution.
So the requirement needs to be this One Health. Whether at a government level it requires the support of all ministries coming together. In theory it looks to be a good idea. That we'll all attempt for One Health. But look at the economic inequalities, for instance. Even carbon emission. It's been such a raging debate across the world. India is unwilling to give up its own strategic and economic interests. Globally, how do you ensure that you can bring all these varying contrarian forces together only and only for the sake of environment?
What the World Medical Association is doing for the last 2 years is an international conference on One Health. At India, we are planning a similar things. As of now, we don't talk to veterinary doctors. We don't talk to plant experts. Environmental, now it has just initiated. Unless all of them work together, we will not be able to. So as is the macrocosm, so is the microcosm. The environmental health influences the human health. So therefore, we need to take care. When the patient asks us, what should be my, these gadgets of pollution were not there.
Tell me, did you all invite any person from law ministry as well? Because I genuinely
we have Justice Sudhindra Kumar.
He's coming. The Green
Yes, he is giving a keynote address.
Because I genuinely believe, I think the time has now come to start thinking in terms of strong punitive measures.
Absolutely.
Legal punitive measures against industry bodies or against individuals who are not willing to
I'll
adapt.
give you one observation, Bhupendra. Then when we started, the pollution level in this room was 125, the PM 2.5. We made an observation and suddenly they opened something, it became 40, and at lunchtime they probably stopped the AC, now it's again 125. So everybody has now to become aware where we are going and what do we want. Unless we do that, it will not happen.
I think organizations like your organization, the World Medical Council, and Indian Medical Council, a whole host of other bodies, I'm sure, also need to come together. And maybe you all need to, do this at more regular intervals.
But my only thing is that unless the media supports, instead of doing negative stories, positive stories, if they come back, what to do, what not to do. And if you start asking, whenever you are interviewing a bit influential person, ask them.
Okay, so I'll give you a commitment. See, we're having this conversation at a time when elections has just been concluded. Tomorrow is a big day of counting. I give you my commitment that on behalf of World Medical Council, whoever is the winner, whoever is in a position to form governments across various states, when they come on the channel tomorrow, I'll certainly ask them a question or two.
That's understanding. Thank you.